Debbie Marcoux is licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, NMLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona 0941504, Florida L076508, Georgia 69178, Idaho MLO 208023796, Illinois 031.0058339, Missouri, North Carolina I210940, Nevada 57237, Oregon, Tennessee 184373, Texas, Washington MLO 237926.
She's the mortgage mom. She can get things done when you're in need and don't know where to go. Pick up the phone and call mom.
So welcome to Mortgage Mom Radio. I am Debbie Marcoux and I am the Mortgage Mom. And every week, usually on Wednesdays at 1 p.m., I bring you guys a new show all about real estate and mortgage, all of the education that you could need, whether you're a first-time home buyer, you're an investor, you are trying to buy up or buy down, you're getting ready to retire, you need a reverse mortgage, whatever that information is that you need, I bring you that information every single week. And what we do is we record the show, we take the sound, and then we send it to radio on the weekends. Well, as many of you guys know, things have definitely slowed down. The real estate market is not moving as fast as it was. Mortgage applications are at their lowest levels in almost 30 years. And so things are just slow right now, which is okay. The real estate market goes up and it goes down, and it will get very, very busy again. But during these slower times, I'm bringing you guys education. I'm not charging any money to do that. And I'm relying on the loans and the applications that we receive from our listeners that choose to work with the Mortgage Mom Radio team. So as of this weekend, this coming weekend, this is the very last show that I am doing where the sound will actually go to the radio stations. So what does that mean for all of you guys that are listening today, that are watching the show, who jump on my YouTube channel, who jump on Facebook, who get interactive with us and get live during the show? Well, it doesn't mean anything to you guys. You're going to continue to watch the Mortgage Mom bring you all of the up-to-date information that is happening with the market as we move forward. But what does that mean for all of you guys, that your favorite thing to do is to listen to me on your favorite radio station, on Go Country 105 or up in Washington or in Las Vegas? Well, you guys are going to have to do it with us live. You're going to have to check out the YouTube channel. You're going to have to check out the Facebook page, the Instagram page, TikTok, if that's what you guys like. So you're going to have to make sure that you're doing it with us on one of those social channels so that you do not miss any information. So how do you know when I go live? What is the best way for you to get that notification that we're getting the show started so that you can jump in and be interactive and be part of it? Well, the best thing to do is text the word MOM to 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. If you text the word MOM to that phone number, you will get a text message once a week right when we go live. That way, all you got to do is click on that link and join in and get part of the conversation. That is going to keep you guys up to date on everything that is happening. All of the different loan programs that are coming out, what's happening with the Federal Reserve, are they raising interest rates? What's going on with interest rates? What are some of those great ideas that I have that can help you to buy a home during these crazy times right now? So you want to make sure that you're part of it. You want to make sure that you get yourself subscribed. And once again, the best way to do that is to text the word MOM to 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. Now remember, that's the same exact phone number to give us a call here at the office if you'd like to speak with one of us in person. We try to keep everything to, exactly the same to make it easy for you guys to remember. So if you want to text that word mom to that number, you will still be able to continue and follow and watch the show. Now, also remember that we have a podcast, and a lot of people do like to listen to the show on podcast. So anywhere, pretty much just about every outlet and channel that you can listen to a podcast on, you can find the Mortgage Mom Radio show. So make sure that you are also logging in and getting yourself set up with that podcast as well. So I do want to remind everybody, this is an interactive show. You can ask any questions that you want. The more questions that I get, the more people that are on here that are talking to me and getting interactive, the better that the show is. But this was my final farewell to all of my loved and favorite radio stations. I have been on air since 2016 doing this with you guys. And trust me, I will be back, and we will be doing that show by radio once again in the future. But right now, while things are slow, we've got to definitely cut back. And I know that that doesn't sound fun. And I know many of you guys are feeling that at home in your own pocketbooks. So trust me, we're feeling it just as much as you are. So with that, I do see that my dad jumps on and says hi. My mother-in-law jumped on and says hi. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, we're still going to talk mortgage today. If you have any questions whatsoever, put that into the feed. I do want to answer those questions for you. Anything at all. This is an open show. Anybody can ask anything that they want to. But in the meantime, we're going to take a super quick break, and then we're going to come right back and we'll get restarted.
She's a mortgage mom. She can get things done when you're in need and don't know where to go. Pick up the phone and call mom.
All right, so how do you guys contact us? And this is really important because once we're done with this presentation today, you may decide that now's the time. You want to get things started. You want to ask us questions. Let me just tell you that anywhere at all that you look for Mortgage Mom Radio, you can find us. Everything is Mortgage Mom Radio. Don't forget the radio, because there are a ton of people that try to call themselves Mortgage Mom, but Mortgage Mom Radio, you will find us. The website is mortgagemomradio.com. On Instagram, we are Mortgage Mom Radio. You know, you can see it all here. It's on this screen.
Debbie Marcoux is licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, NMLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona 0941504, Florida L076508, Georgia 69178, Idaho MLO 208023796, Illinois 031.0058339, Missouri, North Carolina I210940, Nevada 57237, Oregon, Tennessee 184373, Texas, Washington MLO 237926.
All right, so welcome back to Mortgage Mom Radio. I am Debbie Marcoux, and I am the Mortgage Mom. And every single Wednesday at 1 p.m., just about every Wednesday, sometimes life gets in the way, and we do have to change it up a little bit and do it a different day and at a different time. But every Wednesday at 1 p.m., we are scheduled, and we do a live YouTube, we do Facebook, we're on Twitch, and we're bringing you guys all of the education and information that you need about all things real estate and mortgage. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, this will be the very last show where I take the sound and I actually send it to radio. So for all of my radio listeners up in Washington and Las Vegas and California, if you guys enjoy the show, you've been listening to me for a long time, you want to continue to be part of it, you want to hear what's going on, you want to know what's happening, well, you need to actually do it with me on the social channels right here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch or wherever it is that it is your favorite streaming platform. You guys can also listen to it on podcast as well. So again, how do you know that I've gone live? How do you continue to follow along if you can't listen by radio anymore? You're going to text the word MOM to 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. Text the word MOM. You will get one text message a week. I promise we are not going to spam you. We are not going to overconsume you. I am still going to do a show once a week, and that will give you the link to click on, and you can join right in and watch the show, get interactive, and even ask your questions. So my dad did jump in. He says, "You're still going to be on YouTube." Yes, Dad, I am still going to be on YouTube. We're just not going to pay for the actual radio program. And so unfortunately, things get tough tight and business gets slow. And the best thing that we can do is cut expenses, where possible. And one of those expenses that we're going to cut is radio, because honestly, everybody gets to listen every week and they get to learn and they get the education. And I love that. But when it's not turning a profit in times like today, then we can't continue to keep that service going. However, social media, YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and TikTok and all of those different places, even the podcast, are very, very inexpensive, if not free. So we are going to continue to do this for you, and we want to continue to bring you guys everything that you need to know. And I do want you guys to be interactive, and I want you to ask questions, and I want you to ask questions about anything. One of the nice things about not being on radio, to be honest with you, is that I am going to be able to say what I want. There's not going to be any filters. There isn't going to be anything that I need to be concerned about not saying that might offend somebody. So we can actually get very deep and very detailed into really quite a few subjects for anybody at all that wants to ask those questions. So Karen jumped on. She says, what is the worst thing you could do? What is the worst thing you could do your home to lower the value besides the obvious trashing? So what's the worst thing you could do to lower your value, basically, is what she's asking. So I mean, obviously, like she said, trashing it. I mean, if you're not taking care of it, you're not keeping it up or maintaining the property, then that's, as it gets more run down, it's going to be worth less money. If you go to sell it, you're going to have somebody come in and they're looking at it like a fixer-upper, so you're going to get quite a bit less money for it. But, I can't really think of anything else. If you're maintaining your home, you're taking care of it, that would really bring your value down, other than, if you do, even if it's beautiful, but you paint it pink, there aren't a lot of people that are going to buy a pink home. And even though it might be easy to just replace a layer of paint, some might not even be willing to do that much to get it to look the way that they want it to look. So you just want to make the obvious corrections that you feel you would like, but would also really be liked by others. So if you have a 4-bedroom home and you decide you just really want a larger master bedroom, and you're going to take down a wall and you're going to create that and make it now a 3-bedroom home, just think about, the resale value later. Are you going to get more out of the home if it is 4 bedrooms versus 3 bedrooms? Things like that. You just want to be conscientious of, what are things that people are looking for, and then try to stick to those improvements more than maybe just what your personal taste is. So I hope that answered the question. Piper jumps on and she says, where will be able to find you? Okay, so where will we be able to find you? So right here, just like anybody that is on this show today already knows how to find me. You guys are already on. You're already watching me. You've been watching me every week. You've been getting interactive. You've been asking questions. You are perfect on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, podcast, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I even started Parler. So, you guys can find me. Absolutely. You can ask any questions that you want. You can go to my website, to mortgagemomradio.com. There's tons of information there. There's a contact us button that you can send me an email, and I'm going to answer your questions in that way. Trust me, if you put Mortgage Mom Radio into your search bar or your search engine, you will find us. We will come up and you will be able to get through to us. But if you want to watch or listen or be part of the show, you guys need to make sure that you are interactive and you're doing it live. And so make sure that you text the word mom to 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. So the next question came in from Deborah. She says, your shows are so informative. Thank you for doing that. Deborah, you are very welcome, and I'm going to continue to do them for you. I just need people to actually all congregate in one section, which is social media, versus listening on the weekend by, their favorite radio station. So I hope that we can get a bunch of people to join. I hope that I see a ton of people subscribing this weekend to make sure that they're getting the text messages once a week, because I do still want to bring you guys all of this education and information. Guys, I'm doing it for free. I've been doing it for years, and I'm going to continue to do it for you. We've just got to cut expenses like the rest of the world. We're all feeling it in the pocketbook right now. It is no fun. Trust me. So Eric jumps on, says, hello, Mortgage Dad TV here. That is fantastic. I didn't even know that there is a Mortgage Dad TV, but Eric, that's awesome. So glad to meet you, and thank you for jumping on and joining in the show. So again, you guys, this is an open forum. Everybody ask your questions, any questions whatsoever that you might have. We are here to help you and to answer those for you and make sure that we are bringing you the education that you need. We're going to take a super quick break, and when we get right back, we'll jump in at it. So if you have any questions, go ahead and start typing those into the feed right now. We'll be right back. Hi, this is Debbie Marcoux, host of the Mortgage Mom Radio Show. Hey, do you know what an FHA loan is? Well, tune in, listen up. It is a do-over loan, in my opinion. They've got great circumstances for anybody that's got lower credit scores, possibly a short sale or a foreclosure in the past, even a bankruptcy. Give us a call. It's 3.5% down to buy a home, and refinancing is there to help you as well. It's 844-935-3634. Or head on over to my website at mortgagemomradio.com. Hi, this is Debbie Marcoux, host of the Mortgage Mom Radio Show. Well, what are we doing? What is Mortgage Mom Radio doing for you? We are bringing you guys the truth. Nothing but the truth. Every single Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, we go live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. We're working on TikTok, and we hope to get that rolling very soon as well. So make sure that you do follow us, subscribe, turn on notification bells, whatever that platform is that you like, so that you can get engaged in the conversation. You can watch the show, you can ask your questions, and you can get your answers truthfully answered. So what are people asking me? What are some of the things that might interest you that you'd want to be part and interactive part of this show? Well, people are asking, what do you think about equity lines? What do you think about reverse mortgages? Should I be buying right now? Should I be waiting? Is now a good time to buy? I'm renting and my landlord just told me that I need to move in 6 months. Should I be signing a new lease? Should I be going to another rental? Can I buy? These are all the really hard questions, especially in today's economy, that people are asking, and I'm bringing you the truth and nothing but the truth. So make sure that you guys do follow along, you get part of the show, and you get interactive to get your questions answered. If you want to give us a call, you want to talk to us right here at the office, it's 844-935-3634. That's 844-WE-LEND-FOR-YOU. WELEND and the number 4. We'll talk to you all real soon. All right, so welcome back to Mortgage Mom Radio. I'm Debbie Marcoux. I am the Mortgage Mom, and today we are saying farewell to radio, but that is not farewell to the Mortgage Mom Radio Show. We're going to be here every single week doing what we do, getting interactive with you guys, bringing you all of the latest details and information that you could need about all things real estate and mortgage, whether that be talking about the Federal Reserve, the next rate hike, what's that going to do for you? Should you buy a home right now? Should you be waiting? What's going on with rents? We're bringing you everything that you guys need to know on a weekly basis. So make sure that you are subscribing to us. You're getting that text message once a week so that you can join in on the action when we go live. Very best way to do that is to text the word mom to 844-935-3634. That's 844-WE-LEND-FOR-YOU. WELEND and the number 4. Get that text message off. All you got to do is text the word mom, and you will go right into the database, and you will get one text message a week to let you know that we have gone live. So I'm going to get back to this feed here and keep reading these questions and comments, and we want you guys to get interactive with us. So make sure that you jump on and you join in and you're part of the show. Let's see. Eric does ask, where do you think FHA loan limits are going next year? So Eric, that is a fantastic question. If you're in the business, you called yourself the mortgage dad, you can understand as much as I do that it is all a humongous question mark, not one that any of us can guess or even answer. a lot of when the conventional loan limits, they haven't even been announced yet, but every year, a lot of the mortgage lenders start to get super excited. They expect that the loan limits are going to get increased. They start opening it up for us to take applications earlier than, announcements have been made. And this year was a little bit different. It was different than it was last year. It was different than it was the year before that. So first they came out and they said, we're going to start letting you guys take loan applications up to 750,000 instead of, the 640,000 that we have right now. And then they actually rolled it back and they said, oh, wait a minute. We're kind of starting to get a little bit concerned. They might not let us go to 750. So we're going to let you guys take applications up to 700,000 instead of 750. And so they rolled that back, which was quite interesting. We haven't actually, I haven't personally actually experienced that happening before. So, as far as FHA, I've been really excited about that one as well, because we have a lot of counties that don't have the same loan limits that, for example, Los Angeles County might with FHA. And I really do hope that they start to level that off a little bit. For example, Kern County is a much lower number than LA County is. And many of the counties, Clark County in Nevada is is tons lower than Los Angeles County is. So I'm hoping that we are going to see an increase. I can't wait for it to happen. I can't wait for it to be announced. I have a ton of borrowers that I feel that will be their saving grace to get them into homes next year when we do have some more loan limit on that FHA financing. If I had to take a guess, obviously, Los Angeles County, we know here in California that the FHA loan limit typically has always followed the conventional guidelines. So, we can go up just as high on an FHA loan as we can on a conventional loan here in Los Angeles County. But I'm hoping and I'm praying for my other areas, Clark County and up in, Seattle and Sonoma counties and places that have, smaller loan limits. I'm really hoping that we see, a $50,000 to $75,000 raise. Hopefully maybe 100,000. But again, my guess is as good as yours. I wish I could answer that for you. I don't know where it's going to go to, but I will be awaiting the answer, I'm sure, as you will be. So Eric, great question. Thank you so much for joining in and asking that question. I really do appreciate it. It's things like this that make this show keep going. So Celine jumps in. She says, just letting you know that your program and your team helped us a lot in finding our new home. Thank you so much for all the information that you have selflessly shared with me and my husband. We will always be grateful to you guys. Oh, Celine, you are very welcome. Very, very welcome. It is our pleasure. It is what we do. We love doing it. We're going to continue to do it for you. We're just going to cut back like everybody else. It's hard times right now. People are feeling it at the grocery store. They're feeling it at the gas station. They're feeling it in every last thing that they buy. It's more expensive. Your heating, your air conditioning, everything has just gone up like crazy. And as much as I would like to believe that I'm this big celebrity that doesn't get affected by, the normal everyday, world life issues, we do. Our income for Mortgage Mom Radio is directly tied to, the real estate market and loan applications and mortgage applications. And, things go up and they're great and things come down and they're bad, and that's all okay. But the best thing that we can do is conserve during, times when things are tight, and then, open it back up and do what we can when things are better. So for right now, we're going to go off air. We're not going to pay for the additional marketing and advertising, but we're going to keep this show going. And anybody that any friends, any family, point them our direction. We would love to help them, have them jump on just like you have them learn every single week, have them get on those homebuyer workshops that I do, once every, 4 to 6 weeks on a weekend. And, they're 3 hours long, but they take somebody from the beginning to the end to teach them how to buy a home. Where do they start? How do they even get started? What's the best way way to go about it. That is what we're doing here. We love doing it, and we thank you so much. That was really just the kindest thing you could have said in the feed. Thank you for that. And, everybody listening, remember, we're here to help in any way that we can. We're going to keep doing it, and we're going to keep bringing it to you. And when things get better, hopefully we'll be able to be across the nation someday. So that is the goal. And we're going to keep moving forward and keep busting through. So again, thank you so much, Celine. Fluffy jumps on. She says, if I do, I don't think that she meant to say that word. I think it was a typo. So remember, I'm reading this out of a chat box. So if I do a loan now, am I able to refinance in 2 years to get rid of it? Okay, so then she wrote again. She says, if I do a HELOC loan right now, can I refinance when interest rates go down to get rid of the HELOC? So actually, that is a great question. And I'm going to be straightforward, honest with you and everybody that's out there listening. And if you've got a home equity line of credit, I want your ears to perk up right now. And I want your heads to tilt to the side like your Labrador does at home when you say ball, snack, or park. Okay, you guys, I hope you're listening to that. Tilt your head, tip up your ears, okay? You guys have to remember that a home equity line of credit you get today is great. You've got the equity today. You've got a low interest rate on your first mortgage that you took out a year, 2, 3 years ago. You have that's all in place today. Okay. If you get a home equity line of credit today, that's okay. Everything is based on today. Everything is based on your value, your home's value today, right? Many of you are taking home equity lines of credit up to 90%. Maybe 95% of your property's value. So what does that mean? So if your home is worth $100,000 today and you have a mortgage of $50,000 on it, that's 50% loan to value. So if you go and you take another line of credit for $45,000, you now owe $95,000 on your home that is worth today $100,000. In that situation, pretending that interest rates do not drop at all, property values do not drop at all. Let's just pretend property values stay exactly where they are. There's no downturn whatsoever. And in 2 years from now, interest rates come back down and you now have the option to roll the two loans together into one. Will you be able to refinance? And the answer is no, you will not be able to. So again, perk up the ears, tip your heads to the side. I want you guys to all hear this, okay? No, if you owe 95% of what your home is worth, you will not be able to do a refinance to consolidate the two loans together into one, not a conventional refinance. You will not do a Fannie Mae, you will not do a Freddie Mac, you will not do one of those types of loans. Now, could you refinance if interest rates come back down, and can you roll the two of them together into one? Sure. You could do that with an FHA loan. So FHA will allow you to have a home equity line of credit that you do consolidate with a first mortgage. They will call it a rate and term refinance because you've had the equity line of credit open for a minimum of 12 months. You haven't drawn against it in a minimum of 12 months. So keep all this in mind too, okay? If you have a line of credit and you take money from it and you draw money on it within the last 12 months, so you utilize it, you're not considered, you are not going to be considered a rate and term refinance. So your only option in this scenario that I am giving you, $100,000 property value, you owe $50,000, you took a line of credit for $45,000, so you owe a total of $95,000, your loan to value is 95%, you haven't drawn on the line of credit in at least 12 months, yes, you could do an FHA refinance at that point in time for a lower interest rate and to consolidate two loans together. Now, what happens if interest rates, I'm going to get off this interest rate thing. What happens if values drop? So today your home is worth $100,000. In a year or 2 years from now, what if your home is worth $75,000? You now owe $95,000 on a property that is worth $75,000. You will not be able to refinance. You will not. You will still have that line of credit. You will still owe that loan. You will still have those terms outstanding. Now, remember that a lot of these lines of credit, they are adjustable. They are tied to the Federal Reserve prime rate. Many of them today are interest rates that are 9% and above. Some of them I have seen as high, depending on credit scores and how much cash that you're trying to pull out of your home. I've seen them at 13 and 14% on these lines of credit. So before you make a decision to take a line of credit, before you apply for that loan, you need to think about, how much do I owe? How much do I need? And what do I do in the future? So that is very, very important. And I just want to make sure that all of you are hearing me and that you're understanding what I'm saying to you. If you owe $50,000 on your $100,000 property and you only want to take $25,000, so you're only going to owe $75,000, even if your property values drop, you're probably going to be in pretty good shape. So it's very important that you're making sure that you're understanding, how much are you utilizing? How much is your home worth? How much could your property value drop? Will you be in a position that you could refinance at a later date? These are very, very, very important questions that you need to ask yourself, and something that if you've been considering a line of credit, if you've already taken a line of credit, if you're one of those people with your heels stuck in the mud that does not want to refinance because you do not want to lose your current 3% interest rate, but you owe $300,000 on your first and you've got a $150,000 line of credit, you should be picking up the phone and you should be calling us and you should be talking to us about what you're paying and what that's going to look like in the future. So, I'm sorry that I got, very detailed on that question, but it is something that I do think that everybody needs to be very aware of. And I think things that a lot of you are not considering as you're trying to figure out how to get cash out of your home. Everywhere you turn, every marketing piece that you're hearing right now, from commercials to ads on your Facebook to, people talking on TikTok. It's all about get a line of credit, get a line of credit, get a line of credit. Don't touch your first mortgage. Don't touch your first mortgage. Hey, let's talk about it. So give us a call and talk to the office, and let's discuss whether that line of credit is really the right move that you should be making right now today. So I really do hope that helps. We are going to take a super fast break. And when we get back, I can see that you guys are still throwing stuff in the feed. So keep them coming. We're going to keep going until we finish. But I just need to take a quick sip of water and we'll be right back. Hi, this is Debbie Marcoux, host of the Mortgage Mom Radio Show. Did you know that we have loans for self-employed borrowers? That's right. Purchase or refinance. We don't need to see your tax returns, just your bank statements. Have you been thinking about buying a home or trying to get some cash out of yours, but you thought you were stuck? You just don't show the income to qualify? Well, give us a call. Let's see if we've got the program for you. It's 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. That's WELEND and the number 4.
Hi, I'm Carrie Young with Mortgage Mom Radio. Did you know that you can access the equity in your home and still keep that same low rate on your first mortgage? We offer home equity lines of credit and fixed home equity loans. Use the cash from your house to pay off high-interest credit cards, remodel your home, pay for college, or invest in another property. Put your home's equity at use today. Give us a call. That number is 844-935-3634. That's 844-WE-LEND-FOR-YOU. That's WELEND and the number 4. Or visit our website. That's mortgagemomradio.com.
All right, so welcome back to Mortgage Mom Radio. I am Debbie Marcoux. I am the Mortgage Mom, and if you guys are just jumping on right now, you missed the first part of the show. This is my farewell to radio, at least for now. So I am hoping that things do pick up. I'm hoping that we see some changes being made. I'm hoping that interest rates come back down in the near future, and we can jump right back on radio airtime. But until then, we're consolidating just like the rest of the world is, and we're doing everything right here on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you guys can find us socially. Podcast, you can continue to follow, you can continue to watch, and you can continue to be part of the education and the information that I bring to you every week about all the hot topics that are going on in the real estate and mortgage world. So how do you make sure that you follow along? How do you make sure that you grab the show? How do you make sure you get the information you need? You text the word MOM to 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. Text the word mom. You will get one text message a week. You are opting yourself in to get a text message to let you know that we have gone live, and you will get a link to jump in and join us and be part of the show. So I want to make sure that you guys can all continue to follow along and jump in and get the information that you need. We have definitely got some rough waters ahead that we need to make sure that we're getting you prepared and getting you ready and getting you into the right loan programs. That is the most important thing, is getting you into the right loan programs. So make sure that you guys are joining in on the conversations. So I got another question here. From Double J. Says, if I buy a house now and the home values drop, so my home is worth less, does it affect my payment in my escrow in any way? So that's actually a really great question, something that hasn't come up in years and years and years and years. So this is actually great. A lot of people don't know this. So if your property value was to drop, so let's say you buy a home today and your property value does drop, you can actually request from the assessor's office to have your property reassessed. They will bring the value down. They will change the assessment on the property taxes, and they will actually lower what you owe. A lot of people don't know that. They don't know that they can do that. And in 08 and 09, and when property values had dropped quite significantly during that roller coaster that we went through, many people didn't know that that was even an option. And let me just tell you, I don't know a lot of the county assessor's offices that are going out there and they're sending you out a letter that says, congratulations, your property value dropped, so we lowered your property taxes. They're not going to do that. You do have to actually ask for it and request it. But if they do drop the value and they drop the property taxes that are due, then you can get to your lender. You can communicate with them. You can call the toll-free number on your statement. You can let them know that you've been reassessed. You can send them the information you received from the assessor's office, and the mortgage company will then change your monthly payment. They will reduce that escrow account so that they are only collecting what they need to cover your property tax bill. So fantastic question, Double J. I love it. Definitely, it's questions like these that are going to get you guys, everybody listening and anybody involved in part of the show, you are going to learn something that someone else may not have even known to ask. So that is why we do this, and that is why I love doing it. Let's see. Heidi says that is fantastic information. Thank you very much, Heidi. I appreciate that. I'm just trying to get you guys what you need to know. All right. So Piper jumps on, says, I want to buy a home at the beginning of the year. I am nervous with the interest rates increasing. I keep hearing it is not a good time to buy. And I also hear it is a great time to buy because rents are going to continue to go up and sellers will help me with my closing costs. If I want to buy a home and stay there for at least 5 years, is it smart to buy or keep renting? So, Piper, that's actually a perfect question. And it's a question that I get just about every single day sitting at my desk. Should I buy now? Should I wait? What if I buy? What if property values drop? What do I do? My rents are going up. They're increasing. I just don't know what the right answer is right now. So it's a great question. And I think what you need to do is you need to sit down. So number one, every single person that buys a home today needs to consider the fact that real estate is a long-term investment. It is not a short-term investment. What does go up must come down, and what goes down will go back up. It will bounce like a ball. It will go in a cycle, and it will continue to do that. When we finish a top end of a cycle and we come back down, we will then start to go back up again, and we will not finish that next cycle, at least ever in history. So this could be the first time, I guess. Things do happen, right? We're in a first for everything, but there's never been a time in history that things did not supersede where they left off the time before. But you do want to make sure that whatever you are buying, you know that you and your family will be comfortable in that home for at least 5 years. You want to give the cycle time to bottom out and then turn around and start to come back up. It's not going to take a full cycle. It's not going to take 7 to 10 years to get back to where it stopped or where it left off or where you purchased, but it would probably take about 5 years would be my guess, as the mortgage mom. So I would say if you're expecting to stay somewhere for 5 years, then it's not a bad time to buy if your rents are increasing, if they are going up, and you know that you're throwing your money away. Another person that really needs to look at this scenario right now today and say, should I be on the fence or should I be jumping in with 2 feet and buying something right now, is somebody that owed money. When you did your taxes, did you owe money? Did you have to pay? Did you have to write a check? Okay, so if you had to write a check and your rents are going to get increased on you, then what you need to do is you need to call your CPA or whoever it is that helped you, your tax preparer, and you need to tell them, how would my tax return have been different if I had owned a home? And if you want to know what those numbers are that you would give to that person that did your tax returns to see how it would have changed your outcome, that's why you call our office and that's why you talk to us and you let us give you those numbers. But think about it this way. I had a gentleman that worked for the sheriff's department call me, and this year he ended up having to write a check for about $3,000. And had he actually owned a home, had the mortgage interest, and had the property tax deduction, he would have actually gotten a refund. He would not have written a check. So you'd have to take a lot of that into consideration. It's very important when trying to decide what should you do, but it's also very important that you are budgeting, you are getting into a home that you can afford, you know that you can afford it for the long haul, and you know that you can stay. So you are buying something that you know that you and your family will be comfortable in for at least the next 5 years. That would be the best recommendation that I could possibly give you when trying to make a decision about whether you should buy today or whether you should be sitting on the fence and you should be waiting. Now, somebody that it doesn't matter, okay, so these are my favorite ones, okay? I have a lot of people that call me and they say, well, I want to sell my house and I'm going to buy another house, but I don't want to sell right now because, I don't want to buy right now because property values are high. So I'm going to wait. And I'm going to do this next year. I'm going to wait and do it the year after because property values are high. So I don't want to buy right now. I want to wait for property values to come down. But you own a home and you need to sell that home to buy your next home. In that situation, if you wait a year or two for property values to come down, what happens to the value in the home that you owe today, right? You're now not going to get as much out of your home as you would have if you had sold today. You're going to buy the home at a lower price, but you got less out of your house, and vice versa. You buy today, you sell for more, you get a bigger down payment, but you buy at a higher price, right? So somebody that is going to sell their home to go buy another home, I don't really think that it matters when you do it. You're moving one investment over to another, you're taking equity and you're putting it into the next. And even if you buy high, property values drop, you rolled all your equity over, you're still never going to end up upside down. So in that situation, it's really a matter of timing. Do you need to move? Have you outgrown where you're at? Are you uncomfortable? Are you busting at the seams? You have no choice. You've got to move. You have 3 kids in a 2-bedroom condo. Like, we need to talk about what that reason is that you need to move. If you're comfortable where you are, you're super excited there, you don't need to move. Maybe you have the opportunity to do an addition to the house instead of selling it and buying another. Depending on your scenario, we need to talk about it, but just think about it in those terms. There's always a reason to buy. It doesn't matter what's happening in the market. You guys all, you got to go one person at a time, and we've got to talk to you about your scenario, talk to you about what's going on in life. Did you owe money on your property or on your income taxes when you did your returns last year? Are you going to owe money this coming year? Are your rents going up? Is your landlord increasing the rents? Are you busting at the seams out of your house that you're in today? So really, depending on what is happening with you would really determine whether right now is a great time for you to buy. And there's no way for you to know unless you actually pick up the phone and you call us and you call our office. So once again, I just want to remind everybody, if you guys are listening by radio on Saturday or Sunday on your favorite station, we are not going to be here next week. The only way you're going to be able to hear Mortgage Mom is if you guys are following along with us on one of our social channels. So you've got to either do it with us on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, even Parler. But we are live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. and we're going to keep doing this for you guys right here. And you can get interactive and you can ask your questions just like everybody else has been doing today. If you want to know that we have gone live, you want that reminder text, it just texts your phone and says, hey, we're live. Here's the link. Jump on. If you want to do that, then make sure you guys subscribed and you opt yourself in. All you have to do is text the word mom to 844-935-3634. That's 844. We lend for you. WELEND and the number 4. Text the word mom to that phone number and you will know every time we go live, and we will only text you one time. That is it. I promise, one time a week. Now, if you guys want to call the office, you just heard everything that I said and you're trying to figure it out. You're scratching your head and you're going, we don't know what to do. We don't know whether to wait. We don't know whether to buy. We don't know whether we should sell. We really just don't know what to do. Then you should be picking up the phone, calling the office and talking with me and my team about your scenario, your situation, and let us help guide you and talk to you about what you've got going on. Let us give you the homework. We will give you homework. We will tell you to call your CPA. We will give you numbers to give to them to find out how your tax return might have changed had you been a homeowner. We're going to give you homework to do so that you can make sure that you are making the right decisions for you and your family. So how do you call the office? It's the same phone number that you text. It's 844-935-3634. That's 844. We lend for you. WELEND and the number 4. All right. So Heidi jumped on. She says, question, I just received IT. I just received it. So I'm not sure if this actually it means partner not. Okay. I'm not married and I want to buy a house with my spouse. Is it a problem if they are not employed? Okay. I mean partner, not spouse. Okay. So I at the end of the day, I think what her question is if you want to buy a home with your partner, whether it's a spouse or not, and they are not employed, is that a problem? And the answer is no, it's not a problem. And if your partner has a ton of debt and has no income, we might recommend that they don't go on the application with you to help you to qualify for more. If you have almost all of your debt is joint, you guys have the joint credit cards together, the joint car loans together, and then you're qualifying on your income anyway. And to put your spouse on the loan or to put your partner on the loan, it truly wouldn't matter. So know that wouldn't really be an issue. Michelle jumps on. She says, do you have a CPA that is an expert in 1031 exchange, please? So yes, we actually have a fantastic I have a fantastic tax lady that I personally use. And let me just throw that out there to you guys that I probably need to start a Debbie's list somewhere instead of an Angie's list. If you need a guy, I have a guy. I've got just about somebody for everybody. So Michelle, honestly, just call the office when the show is over, and I would be more than happy to give you the information, the name and phone number for the tax advisor that I work with and that I use quite frequently. She really is amazing. She knows just about everything. And if she doesn't, she's very much like me. She will give you a recommendation of who you should call if it is not something that's within her wheelhouse. So definitely call the office. We'll hook you up. We'll take care of you. Heidi says, yes, I can't type today, LOL, which is totally fine. I was just making sure I was figuring out what it was that you're trying to ask me. Fluffy jumps on. She says, can I refinance my house and add someone to the refinance that currently isn't on the loan or title? And the answer to that is yes, you absolutely can. You can add additional parties to a refinance. You can add people to the title to do the financing. That is not a problem whatsoever. We do it all of the time. We've got some people come on, some people come off. We do need to talk to you about the tax ramifications that can happen if you are an original owner of the home. So let's say that I bought a home and I'm the original owner of the home, and it's, California. Every state is different. Vegas, you guys have awesome property taxes, like awesome property taxes. The taxes stay with the property. But in many areas, the property gets reassessed with the change of ownership. So if I'm the original person that owned the home and I add somebody to my title and I stay on title, my property taxes aren't going to change. But if I come off title, so let's say I add my son and I come off because the ownership changed, that original owner that was an owner of the home at the consummation of the purchase is now gone, that's a change in ownership, and that home will be reassessed and you'll see property taxes change. So it is very important that we talk about who's on it now, who wants to come on it, who's coming off, and make sure that we are at least keeping somebody on the title of the property to maintain the current property tax bill that you guys have in place. So I hope that answered the question. I'm not sure if that's where you were going, but I went with it. Anyway, we are going to take a super quick break. When we get back, we're going to keep answering questions. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Hi, this is Debbie Marcoux, host of the Mortgage Mom Radio Show. I don't know if you've heard about it, but rents are skyrocketing. Do you rent right now? Are you a tenant? Well, chances are, if you haven't felt that pinch yet, it's coming. Think about when your contract is up and start thinking about what your landlord might do. You may even want to call your landlord to find out if they plan to increase your rents. It is happening all over the nation, and the last statistics show that we can see a 15% increase from 2021 to 2022. Give us a call. Let's stop the bleeding. Let's get you into a home. Let's lock in a monthly payment that will never change. It's 844-935-3634. That's 844-WE-LEND-FOR-YOU. WELEND and the number 4. Or head on over to our website to mortgagemomradio.com.
Debbie Marcoux is licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, NMLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona 0941504, Florida L076508, Georgia 69178, Idaho MLO 208023796, Illinois 031.0058339, Missouri, North Carolina I210940, Nevada 57237, Oregon, Tennessee 184373, Texas, Washington MLO 237926.
She's the mortgage mom. She can get things done when you're in need and don't know where to go. Pick up the phone and call mom.
All right, so welcome back to Mortgage Mom Radio. I am Debbie Marcoux. I am the Mortgage Mom, and every week I'm bringing you guys the education and information that you need to make the right decisions for your family, for your future and for your family. It is so important to make sure you guys are making the right moves, the right chess moves, the right chess game. So as I started the show, and I'm going to end the show because I have a lot of people that jump on all of the time, kind of they get in the middle of it because they turn the car on, they turn the radio on, and they miss the beginning, they miss the end. So I do want to say farewell to all of my radio stations that I have been on for so long. Some of them, like my heart, my home on Go Country 105 in LA. I've been on with you guys for a really long time now, and I've been bringing you guys everything that you need every single Saturday morning at 7 a.m. And I just want you to know that doesn't have to stop. I might not be on air any longer, and I'm hoping I will be able to come back. But until that day, you guys can check it out. I'm bringing you the same information, the same education, everything that you could possibly need. We are still going to continue to run for you on all of our social channels. So you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You can check out all of the small information that we have. I post things all the time to Instagram, to TikTok, to Twitter, to Parler. Everything that we can get you guys out the information that you need, we're going to do that. You can follow along. You can listen to the show every single week right on podcast. So wherever you want to find it, you can. We've just got to bring it down. We've got to consolidate, got to get those expenses under control for right now while the mortgage industry and the real estate industry is tightening up quite a bit. So make sure you guys text the word mom to 844-935-3634. That will get you opted in to get one text message a week to let you know that we have gone live. And that way you can click on the link and join in the show, and you can ask your questions. You can actually see me do it. You can see what I look like, but you can get interactive with us, and you can get everything answered that you could possibly need. So make sure you do opt yourself in. I really hope that today is the biggest day that I've ever had in the history of the show, with the amount of people that are opting in to know when we go live. So again, you're going to text MOM to 844-935-3634. 844-844-7834. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. So Michelle had a question during break, so I'm going to read that for you. So she jumps in and she says, can you explain more about the cap on the mortgage interest that we can deduct on our tax return, please? So Michelle, that's actually a really great question. And I'm going to be honest with you. It's not actually one that I can speak to. I'm not a CPA. I don't have a license to do tax returns. I don't legally have the ability to talk to you about that. I do know that that they did cap it. It does go up to a $750,000 loan amount. So if you have a mortgage above $750,000, you're only going to be able to write off the interest on the amount on what the $750,000 would have cost you. That calculation the CPA would do with you, so that again they really have to talk to you about that. But let's say that you have a $750,000 loan and you have an interest rate of 7%. The interest deduction that you get to take is going to be far superior to somebody that has a $750,000 loan at a 3% interest rate. It is about the loan size. It is not the actual amount of interest that you write off. So again, I that's about as much as I can talk to on that subject, because I am not a CPA. I'm not licensed to talk to you about that. So you'd really need to call your tax advisor, whoever it is that helps you with your tax returns, to get a true, very clear understanding of how exactly that works. She also jumped on. Michelle asked again. She says, how do you know whether the price you offer for a purchase is not too high if there is no comp that is similar to your property in the market? So what she's asking is, if you're a buyer, and Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong, I'll let you jump back into the feed and type again if I'm wrong, but I believe what she's asking me is, if you're a buyer and you're trying to write an offer on a property that's more unique, it's not a tract home, it's not a cookie cutter, your neighbor's got the same floor plan as you and they just recently sold for a certain price. You've got more of a custom home or a custom property, or maybe there isn't another property in the neighborhood that has sold recently. How do you know if you are offering too much or too little? And I'm going to be honest with you, that's really where having a really good real estate agent comes in. It's very important that you're working with a very knowledgeable real estate agent that has been in the business for a really long time. I hate to say this, and I don't want to put anybody down, but if your cousin just got her real estate license and she's never done it before, that's not the person that you should be working with. Sorry, cousin. You can jam on me later, I guess. But you really want to be working with somebody that has been in the business for a really long time. Right now, the industry is slowing down. There's not a lot for sale. I don't know if you guys have been out there and you've looked at listings, but there's not a lot for sale, but there's also not a lot of buyers. It's kind of like we're at the standstill, right? Sellers don't want to bring prices down. Buyers don't want to buy, right? So everything's kind of at this weird standstill as of today, the end of October. And so you want to make sure that you're working with somebody that's been through multiple types of markets going up, markets coming down. They've been in this business for a very long time. They have a way to run comparables. They have a way to help you to come to the number that you should be offering. It's very, very important that you do that. And if you're just working with somebody that just 1 or 2 deals a year at the very most, probably not the person that you should be working with right now at this point in time in this market. You really want to be looking for somebody that's a knowledgeable professional, somebody that got into the real estate business, I would say no later than 07. I mean, that would be my recommendation, the Mortgage Mom. And again, there's going to be a ton of real estate agents that are listening to this show that probably are going to want to damn me. And I get it. But it's a new world. We're going through rough times, and you want to make sure that you are working with the very best of the best. And this is when those people are going to come out and they're going to shine like trophies. And you're going to have a lot of other people that retreat, don't pay their dues, don't re-up, don't stay in the business, and they're going to just get out of the business and move on. So make sure you're working with somebody really good who understands, a good real estate agent, and they can help you to come to that number and show you how they got there. And then obviously it's up to you. You need to hear what they have to say. You need to look at the data, and then you need to decide if the data makes sense. And then you ultimately, it really comes down to the buyer making the offer that they feel that property is worth. So I hope that I answered that question for you. That is it. That's the end of the show. We're at our 57 minutes. I just want to remind everybody again, I won't be here next week on radio. We are going to miss you so much. You have no idea. But I really do hope that this is, like I said, the biggest show I've ever had, with more people possibly texting the word mom, opting themselves in, and then joining me for the show live, watching it later on YouTube if you can't do it during the day with me on a Wednesday, checking out all of my other social channels, subscribing to the podcast. We're going to keep bringing you guys this information. It's really important. It is really, really important for you guys to stay up to date, in tune, and understanding of what is happening in the market. I just need to contract like the rest of the world does, and I need you guys to help support me. So one more time, text the word mom to 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. Text the word mom. You'll get one text message a week. I promise that is it. I will not spam you. One text message a week to let you know that we are live. There will be a link, and you can click on that link either to join us, interact, and be part of the show, or you can click on that link when you get home from work and you can watch the show later, and it will be all right there on YouTube. Everything you could possibly need. So Eric jumps on and says, bye, Debbie. Eric, bye. Thank you so much. And you guys all have a fantastic one. I hope to see you next week right here on YouTube. See you soon.
Debbie Marcoux is licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, NMLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona 0941504, Florida L076508, Georgia 69178, Idaho MLO 20802379926, Illinois 031.0058339, Missouri, North Carolina I210940, Nevada 57237, Oregon, Tennessee 184373, Texas, Washington MLO 237926.
She's the mortgage mom. She can get things done when you're in need and don't know where to go. Pick up the phone and call mom.